You created your own success, and now the world is beginning to notice it. What many people fail to realize is that this wasn't something that simply happened to you by chance. It was something you built with determination, consistency, and the relentless pursuit of your goals. There were times when it felt exhausting, when the nights grew long and the days seemed heavy, but instead of giving in to discouragement, you poured your energy into growth. You made a conscious choice to shift your focus away from depending on others for validation or direction, and instead, you invested in yourself. By working tirelessly toward your goals, you healed the patterns of codependency that once held you back. You discovered the power of standing on your own 2 feet, and in doing so, you unlocked a version of yourself you had only dreamed of becoming. This decision to live life on your own terms was not made lightly. For a long time, you may have carried the weight of others' expectations or felt tempted to lean on external support systems, but something inside of you knew that true freedom could only come when you stopped living at the expense of others. You chose to enjoy your life with your own resources, your own efforts, and your own resilience. That choice not only liberated you but also created a mirror for those around you. Your partner, in particular, began to see their own reflection in the independence you embodied. They could no longer ignore how much they had been relying on others, not just for help, but for everything from decision-making to emotional stability. This realization was not easy for them. It forced them to confront the uncomfortable truth that they had been allowing codependency to shape their life. They had grown so used to leaning on others that they had almost lost the ability to trust themselves, to make choices without fear, and to believe in their own capability. Watching your transformation was like a wake-up call for them. You didn't have to point fingers or lecture them about their patterns. Instead, your actions spoke louder than words. By reclaiming your independence and showing what it looked like to thrive on your own, you revealed to them the unhealthy cycles they were stuck in. And more importantly, you gave them hope that healing was possible. Since the day they met you, something began to shift within them. They started to feel an urge, a deep desire, to build something solid and stable, not something that depended on others, but something rooted in their own hard work and dedication. You sparked in them the courage to believe that they, too, could stand strong as an individual. It wasn't about perfection or instant change, but about planting the seed of growth, inspiring them to take responsibility for their own path. For perhaps the first time in a long while, they began to see a vision of themselves that wasn't tied to codependency but rather anchored in self-sufficiency and resilience. Together, you and your partner have recognized how transformative this journey has been. It's not just about small changes, it's about growth on every level. Mentally, you've both expanded your perspectives, learning to see the world and yourselves in ways you couldn't before. Emotionally, you've gained a new depth of strength, the kind that comes from breaking free of reliance and cultivating inner balance. Physically, the dedication to building your goals and sustaining independence has likely influenced your discipline, routines, and lifestyle in ways that strengthen your body and spirit. And financially, the shift has been equally powerful. By taking ownership of your life, you've opened doors to stability and abundance that would never have been possible if you had continued relying on others. What is perhaps most beautiful about this transformation is that it has turned you into the kind of person you once only dreamed of becoming. There was a time when this version of yourself felt far away, maybe even unattainable, but through perseverance, healing, and an unshakable belief in growth, you have become that very person. Your partner, too, is learning to walk their own version of that path, inspired and guided not by your words but by the example you live every single day. This journey has revealed something much deeper than mere personal growth. It has uncovered the essence of what a true soul connection really means. Many people think soul connections are only about romance or passion, but what you've experienced shows that it is far more profound. A genuine soul connection doesn't just offer comfort, it challenges you, it reflects your wounds, and it pushes you to grow into the best version of yourself. It has the power to turn your world upside down, to shake you to your core, and to unravel everything you thought you knew. But in the process, it makes you stronger than ever before. You and your partner have come to understand that this bond is not just about being together, it's about evolving together. It's about becoming mirrors for one another, reflecting both the light and the shadows, and finding strength in the process. This connection has taught you that true love isn't about dependency, it's about empowerment. It's about standing side by side, each as whole individuals, and choosing to share your lives in a way that uplifts and strengthens both. Your story is not simply about independence or healing codependency, it's about transformation. It's about discovering that when you step into your power, you not only change your own life but also inspire the lives of those closest to you. This is the magic of a soul connection. It doesn't just make you fall in love, it makes you rise into the fullest version of yourself. It takes a lot of courage and time to finally admit what I am about to say and to be completely honest with myself about how I truly feel inside. For the longest time, I kept my emotions hidden because I thought that silence was strength, but I have come to realize that real strength lies in honesty and vulnerability. I don't want to carry this weight alone anymore or suffer quietly in the shadows of unspoken feelings. Holding everything in has only made me more distant from myself, and it has stopped me from showing the depth of love and gratitude that I genuinely hold in my heart for you. Today, I have decided that it is time to speak, to let the truth breathe, and to allow my emotions to finally find their voice. When I look back on my life, especially during the darkest moments, I cannot ignore the impact you had on me. You were there when I was going through one of the most horrible tragedies of my life. In moments when I felt like I was breaking apart, you became my anchor. You reminded me that strength is not about being unshaken, but about rising again after being torn down. Your encouragement carried me through days when I could barely keep going, and your words gave me the courage to stand again when all I wanted to do was fall. I may not always say it, but I will never forget how much you helped me survive. No matter how much distance grows between us, no matter how much time seems to slip away, your love continues to hold a special place in my life. Even when we are apart, your words echo within me, reminding me that I am not alone and that I am capable of more than I think. Distance may create silence, but it cannot erase the bond we share. It is a bond that feels unshakable, a bond built not only on love but also on truth, resilience, and an unspoken understanding. It is something I will always carry with me, something time cannot destroy. I often find myself imagining the day when you are finally near me again, the day when the distance collapses and we no longer have to rely on words through messages or calls. I imagine us standing together, finally saying I love you face to face, and feeling the warmth of those words take on a life of their own. That moment will mean more than anything because it will not just be words, it will be the culmination of everything we have endured, everything we have held inside, and everything we have been waiting for. The truth is, I feel everything just as deeply as you do. The only difference is that you have this incredible gift of expressing your love so beautifully, so openly, in ways that flow effortlessly from your heart. You have this way of painting your feelings in words that make them feel alive, and I admire that about you more than I can say. For me, it has always been harder. I struggle to put my emotions into words, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. I get lost in my feelings, and instead of letting them out, I bury them inside. For so long, I have suppressed what I feel, and because of that, it has now become difficult and uncomfortable for me to say out loud what I so desperately want you to know. But the truth is simple, I love you, and I love the way you never hesitate to share your feelings with me. What I value most about you is not only your ability to express love, but also your ability to be real. In a world where people so often wear masks to hide who they truly are, you never did that with me. You chose honesty, even when it wasn't easy. You showed me that being authentic is not something to be afraid of but something to be proud of. You gave me a spirit of truth and openness that I desperately needed in my life. Without you, I might still be hiding behind fear, pretending to be someone I'm not. Because of you, I've started to believe in my ability to stand before the world as my true self, without hesitation, without shame, and without fear of being judged. Your presence in my life has been more than just love, it has been guidance, healing, and inspiration. You were not just someone who comforted me when I was broken, you also showed me the path toward becoming whole again. You encouraged me to walk through the fire instead of running from it, and in doing so, you taught me that love is not only about affection, but also about lifting each other higher and reminding each other of who we are meant to be. Even now, as I write these words, I know they don't fully capture the depth of what I feel for you. Words will always fall short of the love that runs so deeply within me. But I hope that when you read them, you will feel my sincerity. I hope you will understand that even though I may struggle to say it out loud, my heart beats with love for you every single day. You are not only my safe place, but also my reminder that love, when it is true, can never be broken by distance, silence, or time. And so, with all the courage I can gather, I want to say again, I love you. I love who you are, I love the strength you give me, and I love the way you inspire me to be better, braver, and more honest with myself. I cannot wait for the day when we no longer have to imagine what it feels like to stand in each other's arms. Until then, I carry you in my heart, in my spirit, and in every step I take toward becoming the truest version of myself. Your partner is fully invested in this connection, carrying a profound sense of faith in what the two of you share. Their love for you runs deeply, and they hold a strong belief that this relationship is divinely guided and protected. To them, the bond between you is not just ordinary, it feels sacred, like something that was destined to happen. This certainty gives them the courage to push forward, inspiring them to take meaningful action toward creating a new beginning with you. It is as though the universe itself is aligning circumstances to guide them back into your life, and they are finally beginning to trust that inner call. They feel that love is urging them to move beyond hesitation and step into a new chapter, one that is shaped by honesty, vulnerability, and true connection. For a long time, silence existed between you and your partner. During that silence, so much remained unspoken, yet the energetic pull between you did not weaken. In fact, strong telepathic energy is now building on the horizon. Even in times when no words were exchanged, your souls seemed to continue communicating. This spiritual link has grown more powerful, reminding your partner that their feelings for you are far deeper than they ever expressed. They may not have always shown it or may have kept it hidden behind walls of pride, fear, or uncertainty, but within them, the depth of emotion has always been undeniable. You have touched their heart in ways no one else ever has, awakening emotions they once doubted they were capable of feeling. Your love has brought healing into their life. It has restored their sense of innocence, authenticity, and inner truth. Where they may have once felt guarded, cynical, or lost, your love showed them a different path, a path that revealed beauty and goodness in even the smallest things. More importantly, you helped them discover that same goodness within themselves. Your presence has been like a mirror, reflecting back their own worth and helping them realize they are capable of being their truest self without fear of judgment. This realization has been powerful, and it has transformed how they view themselves, their life, and this relationship. Part of what made this transformation possible is the way you gave them space when they needed it most. Rather than pressuring them or demanding more than they could give, you allowed them the time to breathe, to process, and to recharge. That space became a gift, one that allowed them to grow and understand how deep this soul bond truly runs. They now see that what you share is not fleeting or shallow, it is a connection rooted in something timeless and eternal. You have shown them love in its purest form, patient, compassionate, and unconditional. And through that, they have come to recognize that your bond is unlike anything they have ever experienced before. Yet, despite this recognition, your partner has not always made choices that honored the love between you. At one point, they walked away. Part of them did so with the hope that you would come after them, chase them, or prove the depth of your devotion by not letting them go. But when the opposite happened, when you stood in your strength and chose not to run after them, it shook them to the core. That moment was an awakening. They realized that their behavior had been manipulative, that they were testing your love in unfair ways, and that they were acting from a place of ego rather than authenticity. What they thought would reassure them only left them face to face with their own unhealthy patterns. The realization was painful, but it was also necessary. Your partner came to see that they had been making choices that felt good for themselves in the moment without considering the impact those choices had on you. They were indulging in behaviors that served their temporary needs, but those same behaviors were deeply wounding to your heart and spirit. Looking back, they see how careless and selfish that was. They understand now how deeply their actions affected you mentally and emotionally, and this fills them with regret. Losing you, or even facing the possibility of losing you, has shown them just how much they risked by failing to honor the connection properly. Now, with this awareness, your partner longs to return to you. The desire to reconcile, to rebuild, and to restore what was lost is strong within them. However, fear lingers as well. They are uncertain of how you will respond if they reach out. After everything that has happened, after the silence, the missteps, and the pain, they wonder if you could ever fully forgive them. They worry that the damage may be irreversible, that their past actions may have created wounds too deep to heal. This fear makes them hesitant, even though their heart is calling them back. Despite their uncertainty, one truth is clear: their love for you has not faded. If anything, it has grown stronger through the challenges, silence, and distance. They are beginning to see that love is not about control, manipulation, or games. It is about showing up with honesty, integrity, and devotion. It is about cherishing the gift of a soul bond instead of testing it. They realize that you were never meant to chase them, you were meant to stand in your power, and by doing so, you taught them a lesson they will never forget. In the depths of their heart, they know you came into their life for a reason. You were meant to help them awaken to their true self, to rediscover the goodness within them, and to understand what real love looks like. Though they regret the pain they caused, they are grateful for the lessons learned and the growth they have experienced. More than anything, they hope for the chance to return to you, not as the same person who walked away, but as someone transformed, ready to love you with the depth, respect, and devotion that you truly deserve.